I almost started us on the wrong screen, bro.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion.
wow.
Oh, you miss my touching.
You look mighty fly with that new profile.
Show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do.
Yeah, Keely's got a new profile pic. What's going on?
Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. We've been dancing all night long. I be with you way too long.
You're still beautiful. You're still
Nothing
beautiful.
here or now. But I'm done waiting, done wasting my time. Got this sweet talk. I'm already on my way.
Ooh, I'm just feeling good
Don't
today,
be
Josh.
late. I'm cutting through all
It's a
the
great
lanes.
day.
Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Sweet talk, sweet
Hey, everybody. I am super excited, in case you cannot tell, to be here with you today. Welcome, everyone. Here's what we're going to talk about today. Properly optimized images have the largest impact on speeding up your website, but keeping your media library from getting bloated or optimizing an existing library can take hundreds, if not thousands, of hours. In this video, I will show you how to automate image optimization for WordPress. With the right plugins and settings, you can optimize an entire media library and maintain speed, which is super important. Learn the best settings and how to resolve Google PageSpeed optimization recommendations in just click, click, click with Smush, the plugin we're going to cover today, or your favorite image optimization plugin. I'm going to bring in my super duper special guest. My name is David Blackman, aka the Digital Buddha, co-founder of Aspen Grove Studios and the CEO of Divi Space. And today we're going to talk about website speed and how important it is, and it's really, really, really important, and we felt like this was a topic we're going to tackle. So I wanted to bring on none other than my brother from another mother, Josh, who actually is an expert in this. So, Josh,
Yes.
welcome
We're
to the
talking
stream.
about it. This is something I feel good about, David. This is something I feel. This is a fun
Woohoo!
topic for me. I love images and I love media content libraries. So this is my jam. So
Awesome.
yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Dude, I don't know if that was like you intentionally being funny, which I think it
No.
was, because I know your personality.
No way. Oh, it's like whenever you start talking about tech stuff, it's like we get to nerd out about it a little bit, but then you're just like,
Right.
does anybody else really care about what we're talking about? Because this
Yeah.
really gets me going. So
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
really
feeling
does get Josh going. I'm gonna tell you. I want to first before he and I take off into this topic, which is super duper important on so many levels, and we're going to kind of unpack each one of those levels as we go through. We're not only going to show you, we're going to basically take 3 websites, that are totally different, and compare them, and then we're going to actually do some optimization of these websites and show you how we can bring it back up to, a much better optimization with just one of the plugins, Smush, that we discussed and stuff. But before we do, we like to say hey to everybody joining us live. So Keely says, "What? Josh guesting up? Josh is in the house." Keely,
that's what I'm saying.
Man, I'm so glad you're here. And Keely, I gotta say that new profile, fire. Where's Alicio when we need the 3 fire emojis
no.
going on?
She said later that was an accident to logged into the wrong account. But
well, don't. Yeah. Hey, don't, Josh. I cannot watch movies with you. I've just decided.
I read the comment
because you like give me the end already before I get
sorry.
There. That's
okay,
it?
All right.
Nope,
go ahead.
No more.
Go ahead.
So, hey, Paul, welcome. Look, first of all, if you're new to the stream, please type new in the comments so I can welcome you properly. Welcome to the community. If you've got a question during this live stream, put a Q in front of your question so that we'll know that it's a question that you want to answer. So, Keely says she signed in to the wrong account. Rad Wayne, welcome back, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Johnson Opigo says hello. Mr. Daly is in the house, and my son is trying to FaceTime me while I'm live streaming. Don't know why that is. But
tell him to join the live stream and ask his question.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's some groove. You're right, John. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I love that song. Epidemic Sound is where we get our music. Ecamm Live is the software we use to stream that makes us look so famous and beautiful. Josh is the mastermind behind this whole YouTube channel, so I love it when I get to bring him on and stuff. So Josh Daly, actually, Josh, I'm gonna go ahead and tout. Josh Daly is the chief marketing officer for our company. He's been working with us now for a year, and he's phenomenal. So yes, Keely, I wanted to just go ahead and kind of show off the second cam there in the opening scene and stuff. Not often that I bring it on. Anyone have some best advice? We got our first cue. I'm going to star this and save it for later. I want to finish saying, hey, Alec, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. Let's see here. Marquise, what's up? He's back. Thanks for coming back, my friend. I'm super glad you're here. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down some comments. Josh, I've been trying to email you all week. And the emails are bouncing back. Had me feeling like a dude that got me the wrong phone number. It's
wow. Bro. I'll get you that right one. Don't let it be that way. Look, I wasn't intentionally doing that.
Yeah. Look, Marquise, I'm going to say this, and somebody, Josh, you can drop it in the chat as well, please. Info at, if you do the info at, then it comes to several of us on our team, info@AspenGroveStudios.com. And you know what? I think I need to make Josh a moderator on the channel. He's one already, so you can put it in there. Go ahead. I'm going to finish saying hi while you're doing that. Sammy Superstar is in the house. One of the dopest interviewers on YouTube. If you haven't checked out Sammy's YouTube channel, go check it out. He's pretty awesome. He's going to be a famous YouTuber one day, and you can come back and say, hey, I knew that guy when. He's going to be one of those guys. Welcome to the stream, Web Solutions Marketing. And Sammy says, hey, Josh.
Yes.
Marquise needs some direction on website theme to get because he's doing both podcasts. Marquise, I tell you what, do send an email to that info at. I'm the one, I'm going to come and talk to you and stuff. I'll talk with you as well. We can jump on a call and stuff and go from there. Lisa says she's new. Welcome to the stream, new. Johnson, new. I had a feeling. George and Maria, welcome to the stream. Web Solutions Marketing is new as well. Paul says he's an old timer, man. He's been here. This is his second time. He's a long time. Look, it's a brand new channel, so we're all pretty new here. Josh and I could put new in the front of the stream too.
Right. It makes me remember back in the day when you were listening to talk radio and they would call in and say, long time listener, first time caller. So that's what we got.
That's right. James Mitchell says he has not missed an episode since he's discovered the channel. Thank you so much. I'm very appreciative of that. It means a lot. Oh my goodness. My friend Elaine Dempsey is in the house. Well, Elaine, I'm going to toot your horn too. Elaine, we're touting Sammy's horn. Elaine's pretty awesome too. So she stopped in here in Ashland, Oregon about a week or two ago, and we got to have dinner together and stuff and meet in real life. And she's an awesome soul and a great human being. And I'm really glad that she took the time to share a meal with me and stuff. So Derek Diggler from Brazil. Dalger, sorry. Diggler. Where did that come from? I'm not Doc. I'm not renaming everybody. I'm going to try to use your real name. Hope I'll be learning a lot. I hope so too, Derek. Yeah, Sammy says, remember to hit the likes. 30 people watching. That would help the channel out. I'm really, really glad. Eric, I am glad you made it back, my friend. Eric's awesome because, he's over there in Germany somewhere, I think. And he's, it's like approaching midnight his time. So for him to be hanging out with us and stuff this late at night is an honor. So thank you. Red Wayne says he's hitting his first. Red Wayne, you've been here every week and you just now hitting your first like. What's up, bro? What's up?
Don't be calling him out like that. We want him to keep liking it.
All right. So Josh, let's talk a little bit about, why it's important for media optimization, why you need to do it. And Josh and I are going to talk. We're going to kind of ebb and flow and let the conversation go where it goes. I'm going to stop the comments from coming in right now. But one of the most important reasons of why you want to optimize images and your media optimization, even if it's video content as well as images, is page speed. Load times matter. Back in the day in the 90s, whenever websites really started to, kind of take off and stuff, and if you remember, good old-fashioned dial-up and stuff. It would take forever for websites to load. And even today with high-speed internet connections, some web pages can take an eternity to load. So what's going to happen if they take an eternity to load? The user experience is absolutely terrible. It's in the toilet. So they're going to probably leave if it doesn't load quickly enough, especially in this gotta have it now society that we have, in 2021. But not only that, the algorithms for the search engines are optimized. Page speed matters a lot. So if your site's not loading in a quick manner, you're going to get penalized in the search engine's algorithms, and that means that your website's not going to rank as high as it should. What we're going to do today is we're going to walk you through analyzing your website, taking a look at it, seeing what you can do to improve it, and we're going to show you how to improve it with some of the tools that we use and stuff. And Josh wants to, everybody's got this myth, page speed test,
right.
and you hear that. So Josh, tell them what's important there.
Yeah, so we're going to run a couple of page speed tests using Google PageSpeed Insights. And there's a lot of good tools for this. Whatever one you use, just keep using that because they vary on how they ping and where they're pinging from and different stuff like that. So we're picking Google's PageSpeed Insights because Google has said that they're using PageSpeed as a ranking factor. And so we obviously want to help you guys get your sites to rank faster. And they're using their own lighthouse metrics to determine that. But one of the misconceptions is that it is a test. And in reality, that gives the implication that you have kind of this pass or fail mentality when you're approaching it. And what they want you to think about, if you look at web.dev site where they talk about all the breakdown of how they're using this information. They talk about it as being a budget. So think of your page speed and load times as a budget that you're kind of going like, here's what I'm going to allot to a page, what I want to try to hit. And if you have a photography portfolio site or a video site or an image heavy site, these are things that you can adjust what you're budgeting to different places. David, I know you got something to say.
Well, I think, I've been sitting with the word budget since you and I have been planning this thing.
Yeah.
And the word just came for me. I understand totally where you're coming from on that angle of budgeting. It's no different than budgeting for something that you want and stuff. But maybe another word, an alternate word, in case somebody is kind of thrown off with that word, even after the description, is prioritization. Priority of how you want this page to look, whether it's like specifically, engineered for the end user, which may require a 4K video. You may want, because it's going to convert better with this 4K video versus this 720p downgraded, stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. As you were saying it again, I was like, oh, that's what he's talking about there. Yeah. Prioritization, budget. But the budget analogy is perfect because you really need to think about it. Where do you want to allocate your resources and stuff?
Right. And we've even started doing that on some of our blog posts where it's like, is this GIF valuable? Which now we're switching obviously everything to WebM, like looping WebMs for that. But is this looping video essential to communicate what we're trying to communicate? We're not just adding a video for the sake of going like, oh, Google likes videos, so we're going to put it here. It's asking the hard questions of like, does this image communicate something for me that I can't communicate any way else? Then I'm going to add this image. Is it actually going to attract more people to click through? Then I'm going to go ahead and add it, even though it adds more weight to the page. So those are the kinds of questions you're going to want to ask. But we're going to show you right now. David's going to pull up for us
before we dive off into that, Josh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, here. Josh is ready, man. He's ready to go. And, before we do that, I want to check back in the audience, because once we dive into these tests and analyzing, I want to see if there's any questions that anybody has right now.
Sure.
Rad Wayne says Ecamm for Mac or no PC, right? Correct. Ecamm is for Macintosh only, and it's not for PC. So, Sammy, thank you for answering that. Oh, man. Rad Wayne says he always likes. I knew that. I was just having fun with you. Eric says Google PageSpeed is like coffee sentence reading. Ask an oracle. It's funny, the result is different with every restart. That's what his experience is. And look, that can be the truth.
It is.
Absolutely 100%. Internet speeds vary, and people don't realize that packet loss and ping and all of this stuff that makes up the internet, the thing that's allowing us to stream, when we think it's not a stable, consistent connection that sits flat all the time. It's always, moving up and down, and it's fluid and stuff. So, most people don't realize that does impact some of these things as well. So, the internet plays its thing. So, Sammy says Josh wants to deep dive. He's right. He wants to deep dive. So we're going to deep dive it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do like we've been doing, and we're going to go ahead and click over to this screen here. We're going to bring y'all in and get, actually, you know what? I'm going to have to go ahead and hit publish maybe. And then I'm going to go back to live mode, and then we're going to come over to this screen. So I need to get off my YouTube and bring up the PageSpeed sites. See that? This is what happens when you go live. I'm actually going to close the YouTube because I'm streaming in 4K. I'm watching in 4K. And I don't want anything to happen. So basically what we've got here is we've got 3 separate installs for example purposes. We've got a WordPress out of the box with just WordPress and nothing installed on it. we're going to analyze this page and see what the Google PageSpeed Insights says for this. Then we're going to move over to a fresh install of Divi only and see what Google PageSpeed Insights tells us for this. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and run our own child theme that we built a few weeks ago, the Divi e-commerce theme, through the Google PageSpeed Insights as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to optimize, once we get these final scores and we analyze the data and we look at everything, we're going to optimize this site with this child theme on it and show you how much of a difference it makes on load speed, page speed insights, and all of that. It's really, really kind of mind-blowing that it really can help this much, but it really, really does. Josh, you want to say anything before we get started?
Yeah, I think one thing you need to note is if you've been watching along with us, you need to go back and watch some of those other live streams, because we don't want optimization to paralyze people from publishing. So the reason we did this in this order was to show you how fast it is to get a site up. And then you can always go back and incrementally improve. And this is one of those steps that we believe is really important about having a site, owning a site, is that incremental improvement. And this is an ongoing thing. And we're trying to assist you with automation the best that we can as well. So
automation.
All right, let's run it.
Optimization. All right. Before we do, because I've got some experience, I'm going to click back over to this screen here. I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to hit, I'm going to make sure that I have I'm back into live mode, which I am. So let's jump back over here. We're going to jump back over here. So here we are on the developers.google.com. You can see the URL, Josh. If you want to drop the URL into the YouTube chat while I do this, go for it. This is Google's PageSpeed Insights, okay? You're just simply going to want to take the URL, copy it, head on over to the Page Insights, paste it here, and then select Analyze. And it's going to take a few seconds, and it's going to basically analyze the page, and it's going to give you a score for mobile and for desktop. And that's kind of what we're going to do initially. So this is WordPress straight out of the box, no surprise. You know, mobile, it ranks 100. Desktop, it ranks 100. There is absolutely nothing installed on this site, which makes a lot of sense. It's running very lean and mean and fast, and it's ready to go. So what happens when we come over here?
Well, wait, before you go to the next one here,
all right,
I want you to roll down under past audits.
All right.
And click that open.
Gotcha.
And I want you to get down there to note this. This is an important note, is initial server response time. So if you're not hitting
right here.
Yeah, if you're not hitting a 100 with just WordPress installed, this is probably what error you're going to get.
Okay.
Initial server response time. And this has to do with your host. If you don't have a good host, then you're going to be already out of the box, not at 100. And a lot of these things have nothing to do with images. And that's an important note.
That is an important note. Well, Josh, are these 3 sites on a good host?
That's why we got that 100s going right now. Yeah, this is Divi. Divi Space Hosting.
Yeah, our own hosting company, hosting.divi.space. Check it out.
Yeah.
This isn't a pitch fest. Wasn't the intention. And I totally forgot we needed to cover that point. I was ready to go to number 2. So the second site that we're going to take a look at is going to be a WordPress install with only the Divi theme on it. That's it. Out of the box, page builder, nothing installed there. So let's go ahead and bring this site over and let's run it through the analyzer, and let's click Analyze, and let's let it do its thing and see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer to run. Got a little extra code on the site to deal with here.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Out of the box, Divi runs. So we've lost 21 points on mobile right out of the box, just installing default Divi. That's no code on the site, no images even. There's nothing on this website, and we've lost 21 points. Now we've on mobile, and look, mobile's huge. Mobile's I don't know if it might be more important than desktop actually, because more people are finding your business and restaurants and doing things with these computers in their hands than they are with sitting in front of a computer screen. So desktop, we only lost 2. That's pretty good, right, Josh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is there anything
you want
we
to
need
scroll
go
down
over?
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just let's note this real quick. Serve static assets with an efficient cache policy. We had a question about cache earlier. This is one that if you get a good cache plugin you could deal with. You asked for a recommendation. We can make a recommendation later, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's something that either will come. Just keep in mind that there's actually more than one type of cache. So if you say, hey, did you clear your cache? Are you talking server-side cache, page cache, browser caching? There's all kinds of cache that you're dealing with. And so keep that in mind. And then the second thing is, this is a Divi issue where they've noted something, but diagnostics are not opportunities. So they're not directly affecting your site speed. Note that, even though it's red, that they use automated percentages as opposed to width and height for their logo. And so the logo, if you spin that down, is the only thing that's causing that there. So we're not going to resolve that one today, but there is a way to resolve that, and we could go over that at some other video.
Yeah. So I think that's important. I want to reiterate what Josh just said. If you're a Divi user, or if you're planning on using Divi and stuff, and you run your website through these analyzations and you go over and over and over again to try to solve this issue, it is kind of a rarity for, WordPress themes and stuff to use percentages versus, specific numbers and stuff. So like 1920 by 1080 versus 16:9 ratio and stuff. So that's kind of what they're talking about, and it's uncommon. And I'm not really sure why Nick and them did it this way, but they did. We're going to show you a little bit here in a minute. We will show you how to take care of that with a simple SVG upload. That's going to kind of take care of it and stuff. So anything else we need to go over on this page before we dive off into the third analyzation?
Well, you'll just see that there's about 6 or 7 different image ones under the past audits. See properly sized images, all that stuff. So let's roll on to the next site, and you're going to see some of these start popping into the opportunities here.
All right. So let's head on over to the third site that we're going to analyze, and it's going to be the Divi e-commerce child theme. Now, you people that watched it a few weeks ago, when you see the scores, don't panic.
Right.
That's why we're doing this. So we want to help you bring this back to basically to where this is right now. We want to get you back up high. And look, these numbers mean something. So 79 is actually not a bad score.
Right.
Everybody gets all hung up with like hundreds and, get as close to 100 as you can. But look, Google's algorithms and stuff, they realize there's some play there. So don't get too hung up on trying to get it to 100 so much, because 79 is a great score. It really is. It's going to run and load fast. So let's analyze the next one. All right. I don't even want to look.
Go.
I'm closing my eyes.
Don't look.
Josh.
Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Come on.
I want to see.
It's not going to be any better because you close your eyes, David. Come on. You're like a sports fan.
All right.
See, that's not too bad. Right there.
So,
we would like to see it go above 50, but yeah.
We've got a mobile at 44, and then we've got Divi e-commerce right out of the box on desktop is sitting at an 82, which is a good score. Again, it's not a bad score. But what we want to do is we want to come in and we want to optimize it now that we've analyzed these 3 pages.
Yeah.
So I want to, Josh, before we do that, I'm going to dive back over to comments to see if we have any questions. But before I do, I want to remind people where we were. Fresh install, WordPress, nothing but 100. Divi only with no content on the website, you were sitting at 79 and 98. Really, really good scores. Out of the box, Divi e-commerce theme, 44 and 82. And now we're going to dial in this. We're going to use our own child theme as an example and show you how what your best practices are going to be to optimize this site from an image standpoint. And we're going to cover some really, really important things, go over some things that, you know, a lot of the free plugins don't really do. But before we do that, let's jump back over here, and we are going to see what kind of comments are coming in. Man, I forgot to stop it from where I was. Oh, we ain't got to go too fast, too high.
No.
Well, Lisa, we in trouble. Lisa says she heard Google's changing its algorithm again in June. Look, that don't surprise me. Google is always changing their algorithm. And one thing that I want to say in regards to that is this. These are going to be your best practices no matter what Google does going forward. You know, site architecture, page structure, how you design things is super duper important. Our mission here is to you know, educate you on the best practices of what you can do with your site to, you know, so it doesn't matter when they change theirs. You're still going to want to optimize your images, you know, set your meta tags, do all of this stuff that we're going to recommend and stuff. Man, Josh,
can I note to that? Can I note to that real quick?
So
this is something important to note about Google. They're not just trying to shift it so that you can figure out a new way to trick it. Okay. So Google's algorithm is purposefully intentional to go, what gives the best experience to the end user, not the business, not your website. What is the end user's experience? And so speed and performance optimization and handling your code right and handling your images right, just reaffirms like, I care about what the end user is experiencing. And that's why it's important that these things load fast, not so that I can get more traffic, though that is a side effect of that, but that you have to think like Google and go like, I'm not trying to trick Google's algorithm. I'm trying to give the people who visit my site a really great experience.
Absolutely.
So kind of put that in mind with that.
Yeah. So my good friend and business partner, Doc Rock's in the house. He says, hey, Handsome and DB. Doc, I'm watching you, bro. I got you. Chris Wood, welcome, my friend. Chris is in the house too. One of my live streaming buddies. Doc says keeping it 100, and he's right. You know, if we could keep it 100 across the board, we would be ecstatic. That would be amazing. Keely says, oh my God, I'm at 9. And look, I'm going to tell you, Keely, that's a Genesis website. Genesis is pretty fast too. So we can connect later and I'll take a look at it and stuff and you know, give you some recommendations and ideas and stuff. And Doc says, you know, really, really good point, Josh. You know, Google's not out to harm you, and he's 100% correct. Yeah, Google, the search engines and their algorithms and stuff is always for the searcher. You know, it's not about us who have the websites. It's our job to serve the searcher and stuff. So, you're also their customer, and you hate crappy research results.
Yes,
100%.
Not keeping it 100.
Yeah, that's right. Keely says she got troubles. That's okay. We're gonna get you fixed.
We'll
Marquis says he's absolutely refuses to test his sites right now. Look, yeah, you could test
it later.
But, you know, let's leave ego at the door. Let's run all this stuff through, and we can help each other out and stuff. Look, here's what I'm going to recommend while we're doing this. Run your sites through Google PageSpeed Insights right now. And if you have questions about the results that are coming up, let us answer them for you. Let us help you overcome and tell you what you need to solve that issue and stuff. So, yeah. So let's see here. Eric says, let's see. Radwayne says, I like what you said about Google. How about Bing? Just kidding. You're right. Eric says, don't worry, Keely. I'm a 5. And Lisa says, what's Bing? Yeah, Josh got beard game. He's got some serious beard game. He does, Doc. You know.
I'm trying to get my hair game back. I cut it all off during quarantine, and this is the grow out phase. So we're working on it.
Man, he is so fortunate, Doc. I mean, he is like He is. He's got like the golden hair, a great beard, beautiful face. What the hell, man? You know. All right, follicle gods, where the heck are you? Yeah, that's right. Now's the perfect time to test a new server. Absolutely. Radwayne says his scores are 24 and 53. You know, boom. Yeah. Doc says we don't have hair. That's my point, Doc. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Marquis says he's 39 on one. He guess he can be upgraded on a curve. Yeah, 24 on mobile, 53 on desktop for Radwayne, and Lisa says 10 and 59. Look, this is why this is so important, and I'm glad we're covering this today, because you guys really need to know, okay, what are the steps I can take to make this better? Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is hugely important. This is very important. Page speed with search engines and their algorithm and user experience matters. So it's important. So Josh, you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to jump.
Yep.
We're going to jump back over to our, demo with our page speed insights. Okay. So here's the scores out the box. Where are we going next?
All right. Remember that on those first two, there were 0 images too. So especially the WordPress one, the only one that was on the Divi when you install is the logo up there. So we're really dealing with a lot of images now, and we're going to deal with this. So let's talk about image optimization plugins real quick. Okay. This is something that's really important, and there's paid versions, free versions. There's several different types. We're going to talk specifically about Smush. And note this as we talk about a pro plugin right here. Divi Space, Aspen Grove Studios, Digital Buddha. This is not an affiliate link.
Yeah.
This is our experience with the #1 installed, #1 rated WordPress image optimization plugin, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's a free version.
Yeah.
Use the free version. If you can't pay for the subscription, I think the subscription is like $6, $7 a month. And I'm going to talk to you about that too, that there's a way we could use that for the initial thing. But here's when it's not great. Free version is not great when you're trying to optimize an existing library, because Smush Free runs 50 images. Then you got to click resume 50 images, click resume 50 images.
Right.
Chances are, if you have an existing library, like we could probably look at our, can we look at our library to see?
Yeah. I'm going to jump in here as well. Hopefully this is
okay. Go for it.
Going to throw your presentation off and stuff.
No.
But I'm going to hit this button back over here. So one thing that I want to educate you on, and I know we're going to go over this again. So when you upload one image to WordPress, Josh used the 50 images on the free.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, it could be 5 images on your website that you've personally uploaded, but you've already hit the 50 limit because of the way that WordPress works. So it's not just one image that happens. When you upload one image to WordPress, it creates images, multiple images of that image to fit throughout the site, depending on the functionality of what your website has. So we're going to kind of walk through that. That's important. I felt like this was a good place to kind of talk about that, Josh.
Yes.
And then you want me to come over here, check out our media library and see how many are in here? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, let's see how many images you could see there right now.
Okay.
So, so it looks like, how many pages of images are there?
It looks like we've only got this one page here.
Okay. So that's that right there. When we switch over and install Smush, you're going to see that's actually the equivalent of 2,000 or 1,500 images because of how many copies of each it's making.
Yeah. Now look, this is a good point. There's not even 120 images on here. There's 10 rows of 12, and one of the rows, the last row, is missing 3. So we've got 117 images on this site. And let me repeat, Josh, say what you just said again. How many images are actually on this website?
there's actually on the server now about 1,500 to 2,000 images, and we'll know that exactly once we install Smush.
Yeah, 1,500 to 2,000 images, and that comes back to the point that I'm making. This is an e-commerce website. It's got a WooCommerce shop. It's got a lot of advanced functionality into it. So every time you upload an image into WordPress, it creates multiple images for that to place them throughout the libraries in the database for WordPress. So that's pretty important to know. So Josh, where are we going? Where are we going now? Or you want to talk about the rest of the free optimization cons, plugins?
Yeah, let me just hit them real quick, and
ahead.
then we need to install Smush because we're already hitting a minute here.
Dude,
so
we're good. We're good. This is a good topic, so we're good.
Okay. Free optimization cons. Here's another one. Even with Smush, it's not great for it's great for additional compression. Or wait, sorry. It's not great for additional compression or raw uploads. So when you optimize with the free version of Smush, it's lossless image compression, which means you don't lose any of the pixels. You're only stripping out additional data from that image.
Right.
If you want a higher compression, you're going to need to either use a different free plugin that will strip some extra out. And like when you switch in Photoshop to 80% or 70% or that stuff, with Smush, it's not doing that by default. You're just getting out the metadata and that different stuff. The other thing it's not great for is if you want to store your original copies, if you want to keep your original copies, because WordPress strips that. Smush gives you an option to keep it. And finally, but hey, keep in mind, for most people, you don't want to keep your originals on there. Right. You want to have a different place that you're storing, because storage for hosting is not cheap and it's not Dropbox. So don't get it twisted. And then you especially will want to automate this process if you're working with a big team, because you might care a lot about image optimization. You're going through all this stuff on Photoshop, but somebody on your team just keeps dropping in these big, huge images. And all of a sudden your pages are loading crazy slow. And you're like, what is going on right now? And it's because somebody else on your team doesn't have a clue about image optimization. Right. So by automating this, you save time, you save resources. You don't have to train people. You can upload big images, and Smush will take care of resizing and everything else that won't take place with Smush Free. Okay?
Okay. Before we install, going to recognize Rosa Matzas. Welcome to the stream. I think it's the first time I've seen you. You may have been a lurker so far, but I'm glad you ran the test and said hey and jumped in here. She got a 31 and a 63. I think Rose is kicking y'all's butt, the rest of y'all so far, from what I remember. Let's see what Derek has to say. Derek says, what's the difference between a score of a 9 and first contentful paint 6.2s? I have no clue what that. Josh, can you figure that out? Keely says she's 9 and 40 respectively. Didn't pay enough attention to that mobile thing. That mobile thing is very hugely important. Rosas, Alec just crushed you. So 52 and 74, he's winning right now. Keely says,
hey, we're perpetuating the problem, David. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We're perpetuating the problem.
So Lisa says, does Smush convert to WebP? You want to answer that now? It does.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. They've got two ways of doing that now as well. So I'll that when we get in there.
So Lisa says, we just did that one. Rosa, I know you said you're new. Welcome. We won't even talk about the rest of the way that you got auto corrected in this live stream. Fawad says his is a 40 and an 83. That's pretty good, Fawad. Thanks. So Doc Rock is in the house. He says first contentful paint, FCP, is when the browser renders the first bit of content from the DOM, providing the first feedback to the user that the page is actually loading. Thank you, Doc. See that? I'm semi-technical and I know a lot of stuff, but not like super technical. Doc Rock, that's a technical dude. He knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Robin, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for dropping your score in here, 34 and 59. So, Josh, I think we're ready.
Okay.
Kenny, we are. Let me just say, hey, Kenny, we are looking at. We did 3 optimizations. We had a blank install of WordPress. We had a blank install of Divi. And then we have a fully designed e-commerce website that we're analyzing and comparing and just kind of showing people, how to go, what does Doc say? What it do? Doc says he knows whiskey. Doc does know whiskey too. And I think Alec agrees with him. Let's do this. All right, Josh, let's jump back over here. We're back onto our site. And we're going to come over here and we're going to go ahead and install Smush Pro. So WPMU Dev has this awesome dashboard plugin, which allows you to, install their plugins once you become a member and stuff right from the dashboard. By the way, you heard it here first. Aspen Grove Studios and Divi Space has that coming soon as well. So we absolutely love it. I'm going to select View All because I want to go see which plugin we want. Now you can see they don't have many of them. So we're going to find Smush Pro, which is here. You can just select it, or, you can do a search up here if you want to put search. Man, Josh, what you been searching, bro? Beer and ATEM Mini.
Hey, that's not me. That was you, bro.
That was probably me. You're right. Let's see here. Smush Pro, we're going to go ahead and simply hit install. We're going to let it install. I'm assuming it's going to let me know when it's done, right? Boom. We're going to hit activate. And Schwab. I love their branding. I mean, this dude. Plugin successfully activated. Where are we going now, Josh? Let's do it.
We're going to go right there at the bottom. It says Smush Pro in the dashboard. Click that.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, before we do this, I want to go back over to the PageSpeed test.
You want me to skip this? Or you want to just
No. Let's go to the PageSpeed test. Yeah. And just look at the opportunities section real quick. So we've got serve images in next gen format. That's an image optimization thing. Officially encode images. That's another one. Enable render blocking resources. That's a code one we can't deal with right now. That you can deal with that, but not right now with this plugin. And then we have properly size images. Look at all these. These are all image problems that are causing
we're
times.
Dealing with.
And they're talking 2 to 3 seconds worth of additional load time. So let's go back over to the site now, and we're going to see how we can resolve some of that.
I just want to remind you, we're at an 82 right now before we do any of this stuff. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna do some of this stuff, and then we're gonna come back and analyze this page when we're totally done to see what the score goes up to. So here we are. You want me to hit begin setup or skip?
We're going to begin setup because I'll talk about this here.
Okay.
Now, the thing about Smush is that they pretty much have everything activated by default, and they're pretty much the right settings you're going to need across the board. It's more about knowing what not to activate and why you wouldn't activate that.
Okay.
So automatic compression means everything you upload to the media library directory is going to be optimized or compressed.
Gotcha.
So yes, we want to do that. There's very few times you wouldn't want to optimize the images on upload. So next, you got advanced compression. This is what they call super smush, and it optimizes the images. And this is actually lossy compression now. So you're actually going to get a little bit. This will drop it down to that 80% or 90%, and you usually won't have a visible drop in quality, but the quality is dropping.
And I want to say this, from the naked eye, you're not going to notice it. I'm going to tell you right now, with the naked eye, with this, lossy compression and stuff, yes, it'll drop it down to about 20%, but you're not going to be able to notice it. So it's not a big deal.
So we'll keep that on because we want to do that. Yeah.
Right.
And now, EXIF metadata, the only time you need the metadata is if you're a photographer who wants to know what the ISO settings and little personal information that's entered into the code of that image. And or if you're deleting the original and you still want to keep that data, you may want to turn this off. But it's primarily for a photographer. What was the settings I used? What was the aperture or the ISO settings? Most people don't need that, especially on their website. So
and I think even photographers, Josh, are going to have their originals in their computer with all of that data in it anyways. So even if you're a photographer, you're probably not displaying this information on your website. Keep this on.
So, keep it on. And that will take some extra dead out. Full size images. Now, this is the one I was talking about before, that it's going to keep your full size images. If you want to go, hey, I don't need my full size images, let's compress those because I want to save space on my server. This is actually not going to benefit you on the delivery side. It's more if you want your media library, you need more room on your hosting's server. So so that's why this is unchecked by default. If you're going like, no, I need to save space, you can set this, but we're going to leave that off.
Yeah, if you need disk space on your server, then you're going to want to activate this. So we're going to hit next. We're going to leave it off. Lazy loading.
Lazy loading is another one that deals with a very specific Google PageSpeed. Now, let's leave that on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Divi has some of their own lazy loading, but we're going to go ahead and leave this on.
They have built-in lazy loading and stuff. Do we want to let people know what lazy loading is? Because some people may not even know what lazy loading is.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Do you want to describe it, or you want me to?
You can go ahead. You're the image guru, bro.
All right. So lazy loading is just basically whatever's showing on the screen at when it's loading up is the only thing that will load. And then lazy loading means those images won't load until you scroll down to the part of the page that they're showing on.
Right. So normally, I'm going to add to it. Normally, when you pull a web page up and it makes a call to that server, it's pulling up all of the images, assets of that page that's designed. When you have lazy loading activated and installed, it only loads the section that you're actually seeing on the computer screen or your phone. And then as you scroll, it continues to load versus loading everything. And lazy loading is important because it's going to make the site load faster and stuff. So it's a big deal. I'm going to hit next. Usage data.
Okay. Usage data is just tracking. You can either allow it or not. By default, it's off because they're not allowed to have it on. So if you want to help out WPMU Dev, you can, or you can decide not to, because we want to protect our rights.
Yeah, well, we're going to protect our rights today and hit finish setup. All right, so it's checking the images.
Yeah.
Already done. Boom. So look at how many images we've got smushed. Remember, we only have 117 images on this site, but there are actually 1,202 images on this website. And that's because the way that WordPress works, every time you upload an image, it creates one for, the thumbnail, the original image, and it's just kind of crazy, all this stuff.
Right.
So,
why don't you show them that by scrolling down here to where it says image sizes, that one there, top.
Right here?
No, up at the top, image sizes. There you go.
Yeah.
And it's click that customize. So right now it's optimizing all. This is how many images are being generated with one upload.
With one upload, it's generating a thumbnail, a medium size, a large size, all of these specific size, and then elegant themes, Divi alone. Look at how many images Divi adds for every image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for every one image that you upload on a Divi website, Divi's creating 10. So this is why I'm going to take us off of this. This is why this is insanely important to optimize your images on your website and stuff, because if you don't, it's not just the 117 images that you've uploaded to your site that you got to deal with. it's 1,200 images. And if you can imagine, your site's going to, if you're not optimizing them, your site's going to run slow as molasses in the wintertime. It's going to suck, and people are going to leave. So we don't want people to leave. We want them to stay and stuff. So,
Right.
Josh, you can
And
say something if you want. Go.
oh no, I think that's right on. And you want to note though that it's good for you to have all those. And you're like, why are they making 20 versions? Well, all those versions are for different screen sizes. So they're trying to eliminate the processing of like, oh, we're just shrinking these images and expanding them. They're trying to load the right version of the right image to the, depending on the size of the location or the screen that the person's on. So these are essential for speed.
All right. Hold on a second here. Are you ready to rumble? Because guess what, folks? We got a new champion in the house.
Ooh, Kenny Scott.
I'm going to go ahead and just say that Kenny, it must be an experienced web developer, because he's sitting on a blank WordPress install. Some 79, 98. Those are amazing, fantastic scores, Kenny. Johnson's is 14 and 74. Just need to work on that mobile. Mobile's important, Johnson. Doc says he'd leave eggs if you're teaching photography. Otherwise, no. And he's right. I don't see why even photographers, unless they're teaching it and they need to expose that data and stuff. Josh, this looks like a question for you. Is cost for pro version a per site thing? Do you know? I think it's their membership, right, to get it on.
Yeah. So they actually used to be one price for unlimited number of sites. I think they've gone to a per site licensing now, but I know that there's ways to purchase for multiple sites. So You'll have to look at their thing, and they're always fiddling around with the prices too. So what you want to get locked in on one of those, I would say the if you got multiple sites, you want to try to find the membership.
Black Friday, typically around Black Friday, your sales dates are the times where you get really good deals and stuff. So Robin's got a good question here. Is there a way to adjust how WordPress makes thumbnails to have them be in perspective rather than square? I don't know the specific exact answer to give you of the plugin that you're going to need to find or use. However, Josh is right. There absolutely is. And it's just a product that we're not. Smush isn't going to do that for you because it's about image optimization. And then this is more probably in line with something like a gallery, some type of plugin for WordPress that deals with images and allows you to keep the perspective of them and stuff. So,
well, and there's a way to change that in the code itself. So you can actually adjust like the parameters inside the code. But if you're looking for a plugin, I don't know what plugin to use right now, but I know that you go in and you can adjust what default images get pushed out, and then you can change the shape of those images by just setting what pixels you want for the size.
There you go. That's better than running a plugin. So Fawad says FD. Not sure what that means, but we good. Does Smush Pro also solve the height and width issue of images, or does that need to be done with CSS, Josh?
All right, let's do this because let's start running the optimization real quick because yes, it does.
All right. Where are we going next? So we got it installed. We showed you how many images. Where are we at?
Yeah, we just need to hit bulk smush. It's going to start optimizing
right here.
This could take some time. Yeah,
big
that's
blue
what
button.
I'm a little concerned with. Yep.
Well, then look, while this is thinking, while that's thinking, we'll jump back over here and chat with everybody. And it says that there's 116 images on. Man, my math must be bad. I was one off. I did see another question from somebody in here, so let me grab it here. Web Solutions. If we replace an image in the library, does the software delete all the generated images of the original image before it processes the new image, or does some extra stuff get left over? You know that off the top of your head?
Yeah, I think it deletes all the images from the thumbnails and everything else. It's deleting. So that's why it's treating it as one like parent. That's why it says, oh, there's only 116, but here's all the additional ones.
Yeah.
It should clear out all of those for you.
Okay, cool. Marquise says 3539 on my main man's favorite site. Which site is that? So his main favorite site is 35 of 39. Does this take the place of something like Jetpack, Josh?
Okay, so Jetpack is like super expansive, and there is an image there is an image optimization tool inside of Jetpack. There's a lot of question around the bloated nature of Jetpack since it's not dedicated only to image optimization.
Gotcha.
So if you're using Jetpack for image optimization, you don't need Smush. If you're using it that way, you can use just Jetpack or just EWWW or
say that again, Josh. Say that again. He seems like hesitant to say it because it's like,
I know, because I don't know if they want you to say that or not.
I think it's just ooh, there you go. Who knows? Yeah, look, I think the Jetpack bloat in this day and age is kind of a misnomer because it allows you to control a lot of stuff inside a Jetpack. They you don't have to run everything like in the past, where when you put the Jetpack on, it had everything. You can choose what you want and what you don't want, and it's not sucking up your resources and stuff.
I haven't used it in a long time.
Elaine Doc wants you to know, he says, hi. Keely says she wants to ditch Jetpack like I ditched my ex. Well, do it. We support you. Hold on. Let me see if I have a is that the right one, Keely? Let me know. I need to be an RCP pro like you guys. Doc and Keely, y'all are awesome with the sound effects and stuff. Eric says he uses WP Optimize for image optimization. He found it on AppSumo. Yeah. And Josh, you're probably familiar with WP Optimize and stuff.
Yeah, that one's becoming more and more popular. I think their paid version, if you found it on AppSumo, it's a good deal. I did see that they're more of a complete suite of optimization. And so that might help deal with cache and everything else, I think.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it can be a little bit more pricey if you don't have a deal running on it than this. Yeah.
Now, Keely, she says too many Why don't you say that word, Josh? Interoperability problems. Is that it? Interoperability. What the hell are you saying, Keely? You're trying to mess us up, aren't you? Jetpack is the worst big fat monster. Yeah, it really has come a long ways. I mean, it's Jetpack. When I first started with WordPress almost 8 years ago, it was a really big fat beast of a monster. But ever since Automatic and WordPress in and of itself started moving to the front end and the JavaScript languages. What's the library they use now on the front end? Why is my brain dead? Starts with an R, and I can't think of what. React. Ever since they've moved to React and they've redone a lot of the stuff, it runs a lot faster than it did in the past. So,
yeah.
Johnson wants to know, for those of us who cannot afford the full version of Smush, what do we recommend?
Yeah, so I like the free version or any of the free versions, like I said. But what I was talking about earlier was just that you need to have your system in place because they're not going to give you all of the stuff. So it's going to mean manually doing parts of this that you wouldn't do. So what are the parts you got to do? You got to make sure that you've compressed it, maybe in Photoshop or in another image. Or whatever. And so then you got to do your own compression, the lossy compression side of it. Then when you upload, let the automated part take care of the EXIF and all the other stuff that we were talking about. So know what parts it will continue handling and then push it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to, Doc helped us with the pronunciation of this.
Yeah, I saw that.
Interoperability. Thank you, Doc. It sounds so much better. And I feel like I'm a
what it
wordsmith,
means.
and I'm usually pretty good, actually. Tell us what it means, Josh.
It's the ability of a computer systems or software to exchange and make use of information. The the
That's
ability of
exactly what I was
military
about to
equipment.
say.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I was
So
thinking that.
we
Good
were on
job,
the same
Keely.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc says he likes jetpack like he likes broccoli. He don't. And Elaine, I'm so glad you're here. Doc is a fast typer for a 2-finger typer. I'm gonna tell you. I thought I was the fastest 2-finger typer. Doc might be the fastest 2-finger typer. He might have me beat. 2007, it was okay, but now 2021, I don't like it. It's a big fat monster. There you go. Jetpack, the big fat monster.
Yeah.
And, Keely's going to take a look at WP Optimized. Kenny, thanks, man. It's good to see your face too, my brother. We'll see you later as well. Peace. Keely says, you Google that, you cheater.
I did. That's why I'm in Google right now. Come on.
Yeah, Doc says, heck yeah, 18 words per minute. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now you're speaking. Marquise thinks it's funny too. How about we go back and we check on the process? Let's see if our site is optimized yet. Holy crap, we're only at 36, running. Josh.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so
what else can we do?
I don't
Here,
know if we want to keep going.
Want to tap? Want to do some dancing and stuff?
Some tap dancing.
Well, I don't want to mess it up. I'm okay with us allowing this to do its process and stuff. And then we can do some more talking. We probably should have hit this a long time ago. 1,202 images is a little bit to optimize and stuff. So what else do we want to
there's
talk
another
about?
phase inside of this. So here's another part to the conversation.
Okay.
Is one, the CDN. Now,
gotcha.
CDN means that the images are going to be stored
Content Delivery Network. Yes.
Right. It's going to be stored in fringe locations around the world. Don't switch off of this screen, though, by clicking on the CDN.
I won't.
Okay.
I know.
Now, with the CDN, they have way more control because those images are being cached on these other servers. And what that means is if you use Smush's CDN to deliver the images, they're going to serve them in next-gen format for you, that WebP question that came up.
Gotcha.
They have a local WebP option, but that's still in beta. And if you're on a Nix, I've always said Nix, it's Nginx.
Yeah.
For those of you who are not self-taught like myself, but in Nginx servers, you're going to have to do a little bit of work to make it work for that local WebP thing. So the CDN version is the fastest, easiest way to get this done.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a really good, time, since we've got some time to kind of let this stuff process and whatnot. Content delivery networks are huge. So, if you don't have a CDN, there are free ones out there. There's paid ones, and they don't cost that much, but they can help you tremendously. So in today's day and age, we're really a global community. The internet has brought everybody's website business to everybody's front door around the world, depending on what their needs are and stuff. So that's where a CDN comes in handy, because I'm located in the Pacific Northwest in Ashland, Oregon, and our web servers are actually, we have our web servers, I believe our main ones are in the Michigan area, and then, we have one in Phoenix and maybe even one on the West Coast and stuff. But even if they're all in the United States, is my point. We have 40% of our customers that purchase our products are outside of the United States. They're in Europe, they're in Australia, they're in Asia. They are all over the world. And what a CDN does is it basically is a server in those parts of the world that puts a cached version of your page on their server. So if someone from Australia loads up Divi.space, for example, and instead of them having to wait for it to go to Phoenix or California or Michigan and then back to Australia, it actually pulls a copy of the web page that's cached from their closest server to them in Australia.
Right.
So the page loads like that.
Yeah.
Right?
And remember, and keep in mind that the CDN for Smush is only going to deal with images. So you want to have actually your whole site behind a CDN.
You want to have your whole site. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Cloudflare and some other.
Cloudflare is the one I was just about to say. You took the took the words out of my mouth. So Rosa says she's doing it simultaneously on one of her sites, the free version, and she's curious. That's awesome. Let us know how it's going, for you as you're doing the testing and stuff with the free version, just to kind of give us some feedback in here and stuff. Eric says CDN for image. He likes Bunny.
Yeah,
Bunny, sweet little Bunny. Yeah. Bunny is awesome. If you haven't checked out BunnyNet, is it bunny.net is their URL, Josh? I want to say that's it.
I'll type it in really fast.
Drop it in there, find it, put it in. But Bunny is awesome.
Bunny.net.
We love Bunny as well. It's bunny.net.
And it's one of the most affordable ones, depending on where you're at in the world. But Bunny is a pretty good.
Josh, I'm going to see if you know the answer to this question. Can you recommend a good plugin to eliminate render blocking resources and defer CSS JavaScript?
Okay, so yes, I can recommend. I've seen a lot of people with Auto Optimize, the one with the little otter.
Yeah, Auto Optimize. Yeah,
I've seen people have really good results with that. I would say if you're using a page builder like Divi, the chances of breaking the visual on your site and not knowing what happened and something not working right gets really high, because if you start deferring code down to the footer that has to load in the header, you'll go there, menus will be broken, things will be out of position. Now, with that said, the good news is you can always default back. Well, at least with the ones that I've used. I've used Hummingbird, which is also by WPMU Dev. But if you go with one of the other ones, I'm sure there's a way for you to disable and revert back. Just don't get scared when you're playing around with stuff, but constantly be testing. So if you change something around, you're like, oh, I'm going to try and move this to the footer and I'm going to try and do this here. Then go check it on the front of your live site. And then if it doesn't work, uncheck it, go back, figure it out. You could play around. There's a lot more play. If you're not used to doing it, it gets scary. So that would be my thing, is don't be too worried about breaking your site. But if you're doing it on a live site, try to
no cowboy coding, cowboy coding, get yourself a dev site, have a domain that you have a copy of your website and stuff on, so that you can,
which
do all these tests and stuff. Yeah. Most hosts
provide that.
Divi Space Hosting provides that as well. Even if you have the one site license, you get the, what's it called? Why is my brain dead again? What is the
inside ours? It's called Clone, but it's staging.
It's staging. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Man, my brain is half here today. I must have a lot of awesome stuff going on. Let's check and see how
we doing
our
now.
Site is doing. We're getting close. We're at 65%. So
here's an option. We can stop bulk smush if we want. Nope. Okay.
Nope.
So we could stop. I'm just telling people you can stop. It will have optimized that many images, but it will still need to optimize the rest of them. And you can go back and do that at some point. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's I want to see what it does from a full on.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to see the impacts. We went from this. We're at an 82 on desktop. We're at a 44 on mobile. I want to see full on what it's going to impact, how it's going to change this site.
I've got something we can do then now.
Wow. It's the logo thing. Are we on the same page or something?
We are on the exact same page, but you need to open a new browser to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to kind of lead into this, and then you can talk about it, Josh, because I know where you want to go and stuff. So we're basically going to open up Divi theme options.
No, don't do it. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm going to open it in a new tab. You okay? Breathe. Digital
breathe.
Buddha's got you, bro. I got you. Don't worry. I got you.
All right.
I got you. I mean, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. So we
That's
good.
right.
Um,
Okay.
So basically, if you'll remember, if I'm going to come back over here to this site, the only image that was on this site that was, was the logo, and the PageSpeed Insights gave that score and stuff on the images when we came down here, and I'm not sure where it is. Is it here in the next gen format, or where was it?
No, it's
Josh?
actually the one that's the height and width, and it's
that's
not
right.
going to fix
Okay.
this, but we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see in the Divi e-commerce site, the failing elements is the Divi e-commerce logo. So let me see here. Let me see which site this is on. Helper dot. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to open up the front end of the website so that I can show them.
Mhm.
So, oh wow, that means that it compressed it already, huh? And it's not finished
That's
doing
working on it.
optimizing
Yeah,
and
right.
stuff. It's working on it. Okay. Normally this big gigantic logo is sitting there. So I'm gonna come back over here. Go ahead and talk, Josh. Go.
Okay, so what we want to do is this is set as a PNG, and it probably did get resized in
Okay.
there. But go ahead and earlier what I did was I turned it into an SVG. And
Gotcha.
SVG is actually not an image, it's a vector
Graphic.
code-based form of the thing. So what Google's going to perceive when it scans is not that there's an image there, but that there's code there. And
Gotcha.
that means that it won't have an impact. If you're doing logos, icons all over your site, use SVGs. And then that's why Divi's dropping in a PNG, but it's a placeholder. And the same with Divi e-commerce. It's dropping in a PNG, but it's because it's a placeholder. It's not a like intended to be your logo for your site.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I recreated the logo as an SVG, which is now code-based. You can click reset on there.
Uh-huh.
SVGs won't upload by default. You have to use Divi Switch or some other, there's free versions.
Yeah.
I just use Divi Switch because I know it, and that's installed and activated already.
Right.
Go into now let's add it real quick.
All
We
right.
click that
Let's see here.
off
do we
to the
wanna do?
side.
Upload.
Yeah,
All
click
right.
that.
And
And
then
we're just going to choose the SVG one, which I think is the first one there.
let's see here. Yeah, it's the SVG.
Okay.
We're going to set this as the logo. And
Yep.
are we going to want to scroll
Save
down and hit
changes.
save changes?
Yeah. So what you'll notice instantly, and I don't know how clear this is going to cut through, but when you go back to the front of the site now, that image is going to look way sharper.
And it's for some reason
I don't
it's
know why.
super small. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's super small either.
I don't know
hey.
if I played around with something before and maybe I messed it up, but the size of that should show.
Yeah. Normally this is, let's see here. Divi e-commerce. I don't have it saved in this browser. I was going to go to the demo site, but you guys have seen it. Big old gigantic Divi e-commerce logo right there. But basically what that does is it stops this from happening because it sees it as the image and stuff. And if you replace that SVG, this image elements width and height error that they're getting is going to go away basically, Josh. Is that correct?
Well, the width and height there will stay right now, but the image, there won't be an image there. It will be
Gotcha.
code. And so it's
Gotcha.
not impacting. That's why it's under diagnostics.
Oh.
If you want to get rid of the image elements, that actual message under diagnostics, you would need to recreate the header and use code box instead of the Divi default menu.
Gotcha. Okay. All
box.
right.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Let me check and see where we at in our process. We're at 92%, so we close. Or let me ask you this: once this is done, smushing all of the images, is that when we're going to go rerun our tests, or are we going to have to take a couple more steps and do some other things?
We're just going to turn the CDN on.
Okay.
And that's it. But the CDN will take a minute for the images to get sent out to all the stuff.
Right.
But we'll do it anyways, and we'll know if it's delivering from the CDN or not right away, though.
Well,
Yeah.
let's do this. It's right at about 95%. I'm going to go check, see if we have any more comments. Let's see here. I read one. I read Eric's, which was making me laugh. So Eric says cowboy coding. You're right. I'm going to tell you right now, when I started WordPress, I didn't have a development site. I didn't know what that was. I was the one of the OG cowboy coders. I did everything live, which is stupid. You know, your website will crash. Will my website loading speed be affected with videos and images in my media library that I'm not using on my website? Very good question, Josh.
Right. No. If they're just in there, it could affect your server speed. It could affect the how much you're paying for your hosting and stuff. But if it's not embedded on the front end of your site, then that's not being delivered out to your users. Yeah.
Now, Johnson says he's using Smush It. It's a free image optimizer. You familiar with that one, Josh?
I am, yeah, because they took the name of Smush and then made Smush It. That's it. That was a competitor. Yep.
So Dylan says that SVG is basically the same file format as a font. Well, that's pretty cool to know.
Yeah.
Paul, would you go Smush and then maybe tiny PMG to Smush, or Smush is really all you need? Did you understand that, or do I need to reread it?
I do.
Because I read it kind
I
of
understand.
funkified.
No, I get it. You can, if you're using the free version of Smush and you want to run it through to get that super kind of Smush effect to it, and then that way you're already stripping out, or you're getting that first layer of compression, image compression, and then you upload to Smush, and it will make sure none of the stuff that was generated by the web stays on there. It'll strip the rest of that stuff out.
Paul's actually got a really good question. Would you go Photoshop and then maybe tiny PMG to Smush, or Smush is really all you need?
Right. That was that same.
Oh, it was a little bit different, but okay, gotcha. He restated.
Oh, you could go Photoshop first, right?
Yeah.
Photoshop, you could go straight to Smush. I would say if you're using the pro version of Smush, you don't need a middle step.
Gotcha. Well, Rosa said after her free version of running the free version of Smush, she went up 10 points from a 63 to 73 on desktop.
Hey,
I'm curious about mobile, how it did, and I don't remember what your mobile score was. Eric uses Short Pixel. He says he's got a blog with many pictures. Dylan says that he's not had really good luck with Smush. It's been removed from, hang on, I got my stuff, images a couple of times. I know what I need to do. I need to start reading it over here instead of over here. That way I won't see it when my mouse is covering it up and stuff. George, where can you find the pictures that are no longer needed on your site? I see only the 2021 uploads under WP content. Where are the earlier years? Do they need to go into the file manager to see those? Does it recreate a folder, or does it just does I take it you gave me the look like out of here.
No, it should. I mean, it should have the earlier years, but it just depends on your site structure. And so it should be in the contents unless. Now, here's another thing that we can look at over on the site beforehand. If you want to jump back over, is that another thing is depending on how the images were uploaded. So if you upload them direct via FSTP or whatever option, those images aren't going to just show up in the media library. You have to generate those thumbnails. So it's really important to note that one of the cool things about like a Smush is that you've got directory Smush as an option here, which will allow you to optimize images that were not uploaded through the media library. And in our case, we just are using demo data from Divi e-commerce.
Right.
And that content was imported in, and it's why we don't include demo content into our site, but we're trying to show you, like, by default, because most people aren't going to use this. It's just an example, a boilerplate, and then you're going to go clear all that out and use your own, right? And so, but directory smush, a lot of times themes will upload their demo content with the theme. It's not showing up there, and they're like, I want to optimize the images, but the theme images are being stored in a different directory. So
Right.
you can click that right now, since it's done, you could click that directory smush button and say what directory you want it to. It's right under bulk smush on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could choose the directories.
Should we turn on CDN right
Let's
now
do
while we're
CDN
talking
right
and
now.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and
that.
we're going to hit get started.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of let it do its thing. Go ahead.
So here, let's just run through these while it's doing its thing. Well, save the change if it's on the bottom there to save.
Should I hit update settings?
Yeah, let's do that just real quick to make sure it's on. Okay. So you got
supported media types.
Yeah, there's your supported media types here. You got background images. We want that to happen. That's being served from the CDN.
Gotcha.
Automatic resizing. We want that turned on.
Okay.
Enable automatic resizing. We
WebP
want
conversions.
Yep.
Want it turned on?
That's something we want, because that's your next gen formats thing.
What about enable REST API support? Yay, nay?
We're not going to do that right now.
All right. I'm going to hit update settings.
Okay.
That way we can.
And so now all the images, you should see a little thing. You're covering up where I'm at right now, but you could see by CDN at the top, the bottom, where the logo's at,
right
there's
here.
CDN, and that little light should be on or something there.
Yeah, it says active. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'll do is I can come back over here. I can come back over here, and well, I can't come back over here. Let me go back. I would do it live. Doc's a liver, but right behind my beautiful face is this little green checkbox that says CDN right there, and it says active. Don't need to show you that. Just take our word.
Okay, while we're letting that happen, click on local WebP real quick. This is what I'm talking about here. So get started. You click that, and it will say that it's not supported. And so this is what I'm talking about. We use Nginx with Divi space hosting, which is great. And a lot use Nginx. So with that being said, you would have to scroll down a little bit, the manual code that's shown here.
Right here.
Yeah, you would have to get that added for it to support WebP. And the reason why WebP is not supported is because not all browsers, especially older browsers, don't support the file type. So you have to have a fallback version that's going to be displayed if you want it to be supported back further in some later versions of Chrome or Safari or different stuff. You got to have a PNG or a JPEG fallback version to make sure that it doesn't show up blank. So yeah, you could turn that off though, because we're not actually going to use this.
You want to hit deactivate?
Yeah. We're not actually going to use it because we've got WebP coming from the CDN now. So let's go to the front end of the site real quick.
You were in directory smush. You wanted to go there for something. Do you want to go there first, or you want to go to the front end of the site?
Well, you could show them real quick. If you click directory smush, and then
choose directory.
Choose directory. Yeah. If you uploaded a theme with some demo content, you can check that box next to WP content there.
Yeah.
And then it will allow you to smush the images in that folder.
Only. Okay.
All the images in that folder.
So as opposed to just, if you wanted to manually go in here and you're already a pro and a guru and you knew exactly what you wanted to use this plugin for, you could come in here, choose your stuff, and have it smush that, as opposed to just super smush it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
we going to the front end of the website?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get fancy here. We're gonna right click on an image.
All right.
Let's choose which
one?
Let's try the bag right there. Right click on it.
All right.
And let's do inspect. And it should, that's on the side right now, so I can't see it. But it should show that it's serving from a CDN now. And I think it is.
Let me see here. HTTPS Smush. Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it's a
Says
Smush
Smush
URL.
there. Yep.
Yeah, it's a
That's
Smush
it.
URL. So
Okay, so now it's coming from the
I wasn't
CDN. So now
expecting
we
the
can run
side
it.
view. So
No,
um,
I know.
all right.
We
So
didn't
I'm
go
gonna hit
through
that.
this.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So we want to go
Yeah,
ahead and
let's
do
try
the.
it.
We're gonna run it through. So we're gonna hit this. We're coming back up to this page speed insights. Do I need to clear cache or anything on this page, or if I hit
You could,
analyze, will it do it?
well, what I would do is hold shift down and refresh the page.
All right. Want to hold shift
Yeah.
down.
And that will automatically start running the tests
All
with the
All
cleared.
right, let's do this. So we were at an 89 and a 44 prior to smushing.
Yeah. And
We got our
remember, you might
smush
need to run
on.
the test. First of all, you might have to run the test a couple times. And
Right.
we're not going to get back to 100. That's not the goal here.
Gotcha.
So it's going to drop down first. Go to desktop just real
Yeah.
quick to see what's going on.
We boomed it up one, bro.
Yeah. Scroll down though.
Uh-huh.
And let's see what's still giving you. So
Diagnostics.
we're looking at so all the image things are dealt with though. You could under opportunities. We don't have anything that's with an image now. So try running it again. But it may not, like I said, it may not change the scores like it may not give us like a huge boost and jump all of a sudden. So
gotcha. Well, we're checking it, we're gonna let it roll and see how it does. I mean, the important thing is that you're optimizing all these images and stuff. So
right, we dealt with. You saw it right away. We've resolved every image optimization problem there. They're not there anymore. And you always want to run 2 to 3 page speed tests or more, when you do it.
Man, this thing is there must.
It's dragging now. Now I'm scared.
Oh,
there we go.
Holy moly. We're up to 91 already. That is.
Yeah.
So we went from 82 to 91, yellow to green or orange to
mobile,
green.
I would say, let's check mobile.
I'm scared to check mobile, Josh. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah, do it. Let's for fun. Oh,
we lost again. What the hell?
Brutal. Yeah. Okay, let me give you my. So this is, you can see right there.
Yeah.
Go to opportunities.
Okay, let's see this. Opportunities. Eliminate render blocking resources.
This is a code issue.
This is a Divi.
Not an image
this is a Divi and a code issue, and this is not a Divi thing. I mean, not a we thing. And Elegant Themes is aware of this. Their render blocking stuff. Some of the, I forget who was commenting about the render blocking options earlier in the chat and stuff. So yeah. 4 on a mobile is terrible.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not
good.
But
it seems like there was something else that interfered during the test as well. I would rerun that test because look at under the go below opportunities right there to diagnostics.
Yeah.
28 seconds minimize main thread work. We'd have to look at that and kind of figure out what was going on there. Yeah, but scroll to the bottom real quick.
Oh, it's too late, bro.
No problem.
I went there, Josh. I went there. Sorry, bro. Isn't this fun?
Yeah,
I like pushing that button. Let's go back to this. Let's check the comments while we're going. Okay. Let's see here. Doc says SVG is a scalable vector format and is extensible. Fonts are different. Similarities probably stop at them both being vectors. Doc says, you know how I am. Fonts are individual vector files for each character. Actually, we speak in typeface, but again, semantics. SVG being XML could be hand-coded. Boom.
Right.
Is the CDN that Smush is referring to their CDN or the one I am using on their site? It's Smush's CDN, correct?
Yeah, but their CDN passes through StackPath. Is their partner.
Gotcha. So, okay.
Yeah.
So which bag I got, bro. Which bag are you talking about? I do live in Oregon now, Pacific Northwest. Marquise, I'm assuming you're talking about the shoot to 91 on the score. Rosa says, why do you need to run it a couple of times? How many do you recommend? That's a good question. Very good.
Yeah, I would say at least 3, and the reason why is you want to pick the middle one. And that goes back to what we talked about early on in the conversation, was that when you're pinging the servers, it's depending on where the test is being run from,
Right.
It's going to take longer. So if I'm at home and I'm hitting this one server, I could be somewhere else in the world and it's going to hit a different server that's further away from me. And that's why the test will vary depending on actual physical location will change. And it will depend on what's happening at your server at that moment. And so usually what you want to do is run it like 3 or 4 times. There's not a set amount, but go if to give yourself the best
opportunity. Yeah.
Best. You want to kind of go, okay, this has happened this time. Maybe that was an anomaly, like what I think happened with that first or that last run that we did.
Well, I can tell you that it's higher than 4, so I'm happy about that. It's higher than 4, so we good. Right. I'm going to click back over here and show it. We went from a 4 to a 39 on that third click and stuff on mobile and whatnot. So still opportunities to improve. Render blocking resources are the biggest issue.
And the unused JavaScript thing.
Unused JavaScript, absolutely.
Right. So go down to the bottom, and you got your past audits. They'll be between 20 and 21. And sometimes what you're going to see with that feature where it resizes you, the very bottom.
Oh, here.
Yeah, past audits. Yeah.
There we go.
And you could see properly resized images. Sometimes you'll run the test and properly sized images won't come up, even though Smush is properly sizing the images for you. Sometimes it just won't ping the CDN or something. And then you're like, oh, why didn't it do it? If you run it again, then all of a sudden it's back in the bottom. So it's not, you're trying to get as scientific as possible, but it's not an exact science because the variables are there. There's so many variables on it. So what we got to do is do our best to get all the image stuff down here in the past audits. Then we can go back and start dealing with code problems.
Absolutely. And again, today, this was not a 100% optimize your site. This was how to optimize your images, just images. So we took care of that, and massive changes on PageSpeed insights and stuff with images. And obviously you can see from the test results and the analyzations and stuff, all the image issues that showed up initially are gone. Now, are there things that you can do to optimize the website further so that you can get that mobile score up, for example, and stuff? And 100%, absolutely. And you need to and stuff. And Josh and I'll put a video together coming up in the future where we will show you how to do that and stuff. And we'll see what we can take this to. So
Can I make one more note real quick? Yeah. I know we're running out of time here. We probably are way over time, but I will say this, that the other thing to note is when I ran this test, I know we showed you clean install, Divi only, and then Divi e-commerce. And you're going like, did Divi e-commerce cause the problem? I want to note, no, it did not. It was after I installed 12 plugins from other people that started having the code issues. So when I ran Divi e-commerce and Divi only, they were 1-to-1, like maybe 1 point difference. Right. As soon as I installed the plugins and imported all those images, it went, and that's when we started having like code generating problems. So don't think it's the child theme's fault. It was after the additional demo data and everything was imported.
So Rosa ran it a few more times, and she's got 81 on desktop now, I'm assuming consistently.
That's great.
Doc says, mahalo, Doc. Thanks for stopping by and participating and helping educate and stuff, man. That's pretty damn awesome. He's got to work. I know he's working and stuff. So one final question from Paul here. He says, how do you remove the unused JavaScript? I don't know the answer to that question. Josh, do you?
I can drop a tutorial into here if you give me
Absolutely.
a second while you talk it out.
I'm going to give him a second. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll pivot back over here to me, and I'll talk to you for a second. Thanks so much for joining. Today was a little bit longer. It's a technical demo and stuff. Plus, we were fielding questions. I want you to know that these videos, like this one, for example, we're going to chop this video up. We're going to take all of the pertinent information and we'll re-upload it to a more concise version, so you won't have to watch an hour and 40-minute live stream just to get all the valuable information. We're gonna do that, and it'll be uploaded within the week or so. With Smush Pro, it's not about what settings you should use or your favorite, but when to deactivate settings is the most important thing. So try to remember that. Install Smush, optimize all your images, and then run that Smush bulk optimizing thing. It may take a minute depending on how many you have. We had around a little over 1,000 images on the site that needed to be updated and optimized and stuff. So I appreciate everybody for coming, for joining the live stream, and hopefully you've learned something. If you've got some questions, drop a question in the comments. I come back, I answer every single one of our questions and our comments. I really appreciate the engagement. If you haven't smashed the like button, do me a favor, smash the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you find the content valuable. We appreciate you having here. So hopefully, it looks like today we were right on the edge of 400 subscribers. Don't know if we went over 400 yet today, but I'm pretty excited. It's a brand new YouTube channel, and for 400 people to come and follow the journey and stuff is pretty exciting for me and stuff. So, Josh, I'm going to bring you back on the screen. You posted that link. I'm going to say, Fawad, thank you so much, my friend, for joining us. It's 1 a.m. in Germany. Can't wait for the next section. Wow.
You're dedicated.
You are dedicated. This was a great learning session, and the Q&A is super helpful. Thank you so much. Josh posted the link. Check it out. WPMU Dev is awesome. We love them. We share their stuff all the time, and we use their products. They're just great. You're welcome, Lisa.
Plus, I did all the videos for that optimization guide. Yeah. So you'll hear it. You'll hear my voice in that. Did those last year, and they're really helpful. That whole guide will walk through each of the different definitions of what each of those things means, so you can take a look there.
Yeah, Alec, you're very welcome, my friend. Marquise, we will schedule a call and we'll brainstorm on what might be best for you to use and stuff to help you with your business and whatnot. So, Josh, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Josh is always here. And, I like to get him on the front side every now and then and, bring some good, some sexy.
Dude, I want to be your Questlove
and stuff.
I want to be your Questlove to your Jimmy Fallon. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
Paul Schaefer to your
absolutely
your, David Letterman.
Let's do it. If you uninstall Smush plugin, do you lose your optimization? That is a great question, Robin. Listen to what Josh said. Shaking his head. No,
only if you the CDN you will lose, but you won't lose the super compression. So I was going to recommend you can get the free version to do the bulk smush, or pay for the free trial. Like get the free trial, do your bulk compression, do your super smush, and then you can turn it off and cancel your subscription, and it will take care of your existing library for you, and you can save that.
You didn't hear that here. You didn't hear that here.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That's a great tip, actually. Keely, thank you so much for joining us. And you know how we roll over here. We come in with some music. I like to go out with some music, and I usually play the same song. I might actually look for some new music coming up, but thanks everybody for joining us. Josh, you the man. Thank you for joining this, and everybody out in YouTube land and everywhere else. We appreciate you. And we're going to see you on Thursday at 2 o'clock for the next live stream. Peace out, everybody. Say bye, Josh. Say bye.
y'all.